Well, this has been a long time coming. It feels almost too good to be true in a way. Animal Crossing New Horizons was a game that was both seemingly inevitable, but also something that seemed like it would never really see the light of day for some reason. Now, maybe it just felt like that since it's been like 7 or 8 years since New Leaf. Whatever it is, after all the bitching, complaining and ranting on my part, the game's finally out. So how is it? Well, after a few days or so of playing the game, I can say without a shred of doubt that the game is good. Really fucking good. Excellent even. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a massive step forward in the franchise. I thought New Leaf was a big leap, but holy fuck. New Horizons raised the fucking bar and then some. There's so many new additions and quality of life changes, I might just be here forever.
I'm going to try and cover as much as I possibly can, but I may forget or skip over some stuff, but I'll try my absolute best to do this game justice because at this point I'm pretty sure you all know it fucking deserves it. Before I get into things, I have to say that unfortunately due to not having a capture device of my own, I have to use someone else's footage. I wish I could use my own footage, especially for this review, but money's kinda tight for me right now, so buying a decent capture device really wasn't in the cards. I hope you can understand. Rarely if ever has a game preoccupied my mind in the fashion New Horizons has. I can count on one hand the amount of games that have come close in some fashion, and that's just it. They came close. When it came to New Horizons, even before release, I was counting the seconds till it came out. It was constantly on my mind. It consumed me. I was thinking about island names, island layouts, interior and exterior design. For a while I was actually worried it might be bad, or maybe even a bit too different and ambitious for its own good. At one point watching the directs leading up to the release, I looked at all of the new features added and I thought, is this too much? Obviously, judging from what I mentioned before, that all went out the window. I think this game is excellent. But why is it so good?
Well, the first big new feature you experience early on is a reward system known as Nook Miles, and I think this reward system is a perfect example of why this game is so good.
At the start of the game, once you've set up your tent and have turned in for the night, when you wake up the next morning, Nook gives you a Nook phone with a multitude of apps, one of which is a Nook Miles app.
Now, I know phones in a game like Animal Crossing, which is inherently natural and rural, it's kind of a weird concept, especially since phones are like quite, unnatural, and technology is something that's new to the Animal Crossing franchise, and you'd think it would be clashing with the, overall vibe that Animal Crossing usually has, and it'd be very jarring to use, and that was something I was personally really worried about, but I'm glad to report that is in fact the exact opposite.
Despite technology never really being a part of Animal Crossing, the devs incorporated it seamlessly into this game, and it never really feels out of place. And this is something that just brings to attention the fact that this game had a lot of care and love poured into it. The attention to detail and care put into every little piece of this game makes a lifelong fan like myself feel more at home than ever.
And yes, I know technically vehicles are technological in their own right, but electronics such as phones are a whole different ballgame. And I know Nintendo consoles and such have been part of the game since like the original, but technology being part of a key feature like this was a huge risk and is a completely different animal to a few NES games and a few furniture items.
Getting back to the Nook Miles are basically a form of currency separate from the standard bells that were present through the series. Nook Miles are awarded to the player for doing any number of tasks, such as catching fish or bugs, crafting, or selling weeds. And don't worry, I'll get to the crafting. These Nook Miles can be exchanged at an ATM-like machine in Nook's tent, called the Nook Stop, for new hairstyles, inventory upgrades, clothes, or even plane tickets. Plane tickets to where, you may ask? Well, in New Horizons you can visit small, randomly generated islands. Each island is unique in its own little way, but by the 4th or 5th island, they all kind of blend together. When you visit these islands, there's a chance that a random villager will be hanging out there, and you can convince him to come and move to your island. Other than finding new villagers, these islands have another use, which is using them as a place to farm resources when your island runs out.
Other than that, I haven't really found another use for the island, so sorry if I'm missing something. And for those of you who played Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, these so-called Nook Miles will sound very familiar.
And that's because this reward system is not too dissimilar to the one present in Pocket Camp. And I don't think I'd be breaking any hearts if I said that I believe the Nook Miles are much better than the Pocket Camp reward system. I know Pocket Camp has its fans, and if you're one of them, that's fine. I don't hate the game, but the Nook Miles system, unlike the Pocket Camp system, isn't designed to drain you of your real world money. It's designed to drain you of your real life hours instead, hours you probably would have been wasting away in the game anyway, and the things you're rewarded for, you probably would have been doing also.
This system is borderline flawless and I love it. If there's any faults or flaws, I'm yet to see them myself. And you know what makes this system even better? It makes you want to do things that in past games you wouldn't even have dreamed of doing. In past games I messed around with keeping a little garden, but I never really committed to it. Like, I don't give a fuck about hybrids. But in this game, I'm like, fuck it, you know what? I'll water some flowers for some Nook Miles, I just need that damn inventory upgrade.
Animal Crossing, when you boil it down to its basic and core formula, is a game wherein you fulfill a number of menial tasks willingly. And as fans of the franchise, we become accustomed to stupid questions from non-fans and even haters of the franchise. What even is a game? What do you do in it? How is fishing and watering flowers fun? We've heard it all before and it's always been hard to explain the appeal of the franchise, especially for those of us who have been around since the population growing in Wild World days, because looking back at those games, they're so much more bare bones.
But I believe that New Horizons has made the appeal of the franchise more apparent than ever, in turn making the games more accessible than ever. Going back to the example of Nook Miles, in previous games I wouldn't even have dreamed of watering flowers. But in New Horizons, I'm rewarded for actively partaking in tasks that seem so menial and arbitrary, even for Animal Crossing standards. And you know what? I think I've actually grown to like watering flowers. I never thought that would happen, honestly. Since starting the game, even without wanting Nook Miles, I find myself feeling the urge to water my flowers. I think the incentive is boosted by the fact that the game looks beautiful too. I mean, if you don't want some pretty ass flowers on your island, I don't think you're experiencing the game right, because I think they make the scenery pop more than ever in any of the past games.
Speaking of the beauty of the game, how about those incredible graphics? Everything looks beautiful in this game. The environments, the furniture, even things that should look gross and unappealing like weeds and ugly villages look great. Here's an example, one of my starting villagers was Lyman. Fucking Lyman. This dude is bordering on having a monobrow, but somehow this game makes him look cute. How do you do that? How do you make a koala with a monobrow look cute as fuck? The villagers are more lively and animated than ever in this game, and I absolutely love it. They dabbled in a little bit of it in New Leaf with villagers sitting down and occasionally fishing, but villagers have always felt a little static. Here they feel like living, breathing people? No. The villagers feel like they're genuinely just living their own lives and want to just do their own thing. They fish, they sit on the trees and stare at the sky, they sing. They fucking sing! Do you know how fucking cute that is? They also Naruto run, but we don't talk about that.
In New Leaf, I found myself being super antisocial and never really talking to the villagers at all. Maybe past the, initial interactions. But in this game, I just feel more inclined to talk to them. And I'm happy about that because I'm starting to genuinely enjoy and appreciate interactions with the villagers in my town as well as villagers in my friends' towns. I feel like New Horizons hit every pre-existing feature and aspect of this franchise with a level of perfection and elegance only achievable by this franchise. And on top of that, all of the new features added just all come together to make this near perfect game. Like I said, the interactions, a sense of community and the incentive for building a community-like environment on your island is stronger than ever.
But on top of that, stuff like shopping and decorating your house, staples of the franchise since day one, have been perfected, employing the happy home designer decorating features, bringing it to the main series and making it more fun than ever. And the new features, God, those new features are fucking great. I've already talked at length about the Nook Miles, well, at least somewhat. But the crafting, oh my god. Now when I saw the crafting initially, it was one of the first things to make me kind of step back and worry and think, oh fuck, they're about to ruin one of my favourite franchises. If you've played the game, you guys already know how well implemented it is. And the best part is, it's optional for the most part. While there are certain items that are only obtainable through crafting, the main thing you're going to be crafting is probably going to be the tools, and if you want them, you can just go and see Timmy and Tommy and buy them off of them. But with the Nook Mile system, you're incentivized to take both approaches, since you're rewarded for both crafting and spending bells on items in shops. The fact that the crafting is extremely basic and easy to understand, only involving you gathering the materials you need, just going up to the crafting bench and making what you need, just makes the fact that you're rewarded for crafting feel that much better.
And now moving on to the biggest new addition, and I know I've been stressing this with every new feature that I've been covering so far, but honestly this was another one that really worried me for a minute. In past Animal Crossing games, you were given a certain town layout and were kind of stuck with it, and villagers just kind of moved in wherever the hell they wanted, and that annoyed a lot of players, especially that latter part. I'll admit it can be really annoying whenever that happens, but I'd usually just suck it up and go catch a shark or something and move on with my life.
I no longer have to do that because in an incredible new addition by the developers, I can decide where almost every building goes, and not only that, I can change the very ground that me and my villagers walk on. You can add and take away land, you can create waterfalls, customization and control over your island is basically there for almost every aspect of it, and it's a welcome change to the rigid formula of Animal Crossing games of yesteryear. Once again, this was something that was so easy to fuck up, but the effort and care on the part of the developers shone through and they made it work. And that's just it, the effort and care that goes into every Animal Crossing game is incredible. But this game is on a whole other level. The attention to detail in terms of every mechanic of the game, from the most minuscule to the large ones that serve as the main attractions, to the aforementioned fantastic graphics, is just a recipe for a fantastic game which is filled with charm and love.
Like seriously, come on, just looking at the textures on random things like bugs, flowers and even the ground just shows how much love was poured into this game. And this fantastic game is accompanied by a phenomenal soundtrack. Much like New Leaf before it, New Horizons has a soundtrack that sounds quintessentially Animal Crossing, but still has an identity all its own. The soundtrack retains some of the sonic philosophies established in New Leaf, such as having chill, almost entirely ambient tracks, as well as having tracks that are very full sounding but still have a laid back chillness to them. But New Horizons takes this pre-established formula and makes it something completely new, giving the game an identity all its own.
From thumping upright bass lines and leads that drive songs that would otherwise sound thin, giving them that extra bit of bite, to little acoustic guitar leads and fills, accompanied by beautiful synthesizer and organ sounds that transport your mind to somewhere magical.
And that's just it, this game transports you somewhere magical. I've never been this immersed in an Animal Crossing game ever, and that's coming from someone who loves the franchise.
All of the things that I've mentioned throughout this review, the graphics, the creation tools, the key features, the sheer amount of things to do in this game, as well as the soundtrack, all come together to make for an incredibly immersive experience. So immersive, you build up fond memories and moments almost instantly when you pick up the game. It's almost like being so into the game that you completely forget what's been bothering you for the past few days. That makes the Animal Crossing experience, more specifically the New Horizons experience, so magical.
I love this franchise, and I hope new and old fans alike are enjoying this incredible new entry in this franchise that I love as much as I am. God, this video is a fucking pain to make. My back's aching, I'm sweating. I've just been sat here for fucking ages, so if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, do all of that good shit. It just helps to get that one step closer to being able to do this as a job, which is ultimately what I want, because it just kind of helps boost me in the algorithm. And yeah, specifically share this video around to any of your friends who enjoy Animal Crossing, because I really want some growth this year. I'm hoping to get 1,000 by the end of the year. It is a bit of a tall order, but I think we can do it. And in case you guys haven't noticed, I've got some new channel art going, thanks to Lasseter. He's my friend Lasseter Scribbles, you should definitely go check him out. I'll leave his Facebook page and his Twitter in the description. I was just trying to remember that, but yeah, please do feel free to commission him, because he does some awesome fucking work, and I'd love if you guys went and supported him. But yeah, if you're watching this video, thanks dude, I love your fucking art. You've done a great job. And yeah, I was supposed to be doing the Jak and Daxter review, but I decided to do this first while it was still relevant, and hopefully I get some growth from this video. And if you're new, please do consider supporting the channel. Yeah, the Jak and Daxter review will be the next one that I do, but for now, I'm going to try and maybe do some supplementary videos in between, but if not, that'll be the next video that'll be up. It might take a while, but we'll see. I might need a bit of a break after this fucking long ass video, but yeah, yeah, I don't know, just like and subscribe and just support the channel. And just stay tuned for the next review, and I'll leave some Animal Crossing videos here in case you're interested, and some other Nintendo related content if you're interested in that and want to see more of my work. But anyway guys, I've been XYZCruncher. Stay cool, stay safe, stay crunchy, and I'm out. Peace.